Hi everyone. So I'm starting a new playlist here, a new video series about GDAL or Goodle. Um, what it stands for is the Geospatial Data Plus, and it also has command line utilities that you can use for doing things like terrain analysis, projection management, data management, things like that. So here I am. I'm at gdal.org. And let's just take a look at the About page real quick. So this is for raster and vector geospatial data formats. And it's licensed under MIT license. And it gives you the information about that here. So the first thing we're going to want to do is I'm going to be using this in Python. You have the source code and things here. I'm going to show you the way I prefer to use this when I'm using it with Python. And so there are two ways you can do this. I'm going to show you the easiest way first, and I'm going to show you a slightly more difficult but still pretty easy way to install this second over here. And so here I am, I'm in QGIS, and actually I'm just going to clear out some things here so that we can make sure that we're all clear. I don't need to have these opened. Okay, those are from previous tutorials. So the easiest way is here in QGIS, and in QGIS, if you have this installed, you go to Plugins and Python Console. Here, you can just type. Let's see if we can just do import G. We can just do import GDAL. The library is already installed with the Python installation that comes with QGIS. That's going to be the easiest way to do this. The downside for that is you have to use the QGIS Python interpreter, and it's easiest to do that from the Python console here. So that's my recommendation, is if you're just starting out with this, is to just video on how to do that. If you go back and search on my videos page. If you prefer to just use it with your regular Python installation, we'll cover how to do that right here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we're going to use a wheel file to install this. And so I'm going to come and I'm just going to Google GDAL Python wheel. I've looked at this before, so we'll just download this. And this first one, this Python extension packages for Windows by Christoph Golke file, that makes it really easy to install this. So if I just come over here, I'm going to click Control F, and I'm just going to search for GDAL, and I can click on it here where it's highlighted, and it brings me down here. And so right here we have version 2.4.1. And so let's just take a look at this first one. So this is 2.4.1. This is for Python version 2.7, 32-bit Windows operating system. Okay, Python. We'll go check it actually. Let's do the command line. So I have it pulled up here. And if you need to check your Python version, just type Python. And I'm running Python 3.6.4. And so we'll exit out of the interactive session here, and so I need the Python 3.6 version, which is going to be right here, and I am running a 64-bit machine, so I want the 64-bit version. Okay, and I want to put this in my downloads folder. Just make sure you know where you save this. Okay, and so that's going to download, and that's going to save. Okay, so then I want to come back to my command prompt here. And I'm going to type Python -m pip install, and now I'm going to give it the path to where I just downloaded this. So mine's going to be in downloads, and then I need to come in. I'll come over here to my downloads, and I'm just going to copy that file name because it's going to be a little hard to remember. So I'll copy that. And I'll come back to my command prompt, and we will paste that in. And so this should install GDAL for me. And this might take just a minute, but as you can see, it's working. So I'll pause this till we get some output. Okay, so we're getting some output here. I already had this installed, so it just found the existing installation. Now it's uninstalling it. It's successfully uninstalled that version of GDAL, and now it's going to go back and install the newer version. Okay, And so it says I should consider upgrading my pip installation. That's file 2.4.1. And now to check this, I can type Python here. This will open up an interactive Python session, and I can do import GDAL. And this might take just a minute to load. I didn't get any errors, so I'm good to go here. And I should be able to check the version of this with GDAL version __. Let's see what happens. And so that's going to throw. Let me just double check the different way to do this. So let's try to use version info here. So GDAL version info. And it gives us this right here, which we can go back and look up and find which version that responded to. So there you have it. That's how you can get GDAL installed for Python on Windows. This process here should also work on Mac. You won't be able to use that wheel file. You might have to do it from source. There might also be a little better way to do it there. So I guess, yeah, sorry. I misspoke. This process won't work the same way for Windows and for Linux. I'm not very, or it won't. Sorry, it will work for Windows. It will not work for Mac and for Linux this exact way. As these are for Windows, the wheel files are for Windows. But I think they're. But that gives you the basics of how you can get GDAL installed. And moving forward in this video series, we are going to use GDAL to work with raster and with vector data. All right. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you back up on this in some coming videos, and hopefully you enjoy everything. Thanks. Have a good day. Hi everyone. So I'm starting a new playlist here. Hi everyone. So I'm starting a new playlist here.
煙就是禍，東華三院戒煙熱線233289777。
兒子，我唔想媽咪知。
我唔想有人知我咁樣，我好辛苦。
全世界都冇人幫到我。
我想戒甩佢。
邊個可以幫下我啊？
打嚟186，我哋幫到你。企硬剔嘢衰硬。打嚟186，我哋。
Tutorial. So today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about, I'm going to show you how you can use Python and QGIS to batch process some raster operations. So I know in most of my videos I talk about how the great thing about using Python for your GIS analyses is that you can batch process things and run them over and over again and have automation that way. But I haven't really showed you how we can do that yet, so we're going to do that today with the slope console first. I'm going to grab and add in all these different DEMs I have over here, and we'll take a look at them. So I'm just going to drag those over. We'll go over to layers. It's going to take a sec to add these, and I'll probably have to click some buttons. And let's just see. These should all be in approximately the same location. So we've got, let's take a look at this. Information. It has a different extent, so this is in different coordinates. We'll keep it in, even though we're not going to really worry about it. We have this one that's been altered with one of our analyses. We have this one that's been clipped. So it's going to be just I think it's just that. Yes, we have that one that's clipped to just that little area. We have one that's clipped to retracted. So it has totally different values. We have one that had the no data changed in one of our other videos, and then we have these here. Okay, so we're just going to do a batch process that runs slope on every one of these rasters, and then it will add them into a new folder. Okay, so remove those layers, and now the first thing I want to do is I'm going to go in and create that new folder. In my temporary folder down here, there it is, and elevation, and let's make a new folder called slope output. Okay, so I'm going to go back over to QGIS, new script, and we'll make a variable outdir, output directory, which will be C, temp, elevation, slope, output. I want to make sure I did slope output, not slope outputs. Yep, there we go. And now let's make our indir equals C, temp, elevation. Import up here, import OS. Which this gives us some file management options. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to go to this indir input directory. We want to loop through all the files. If they are a TIFF file, so a geographic raster file, we want to run this slope function on them. And we'll run just this created earlier. So let's copy that. And if you haven't seen this, I'll put a link of a card up in the top to the slope calculation video that I did. And I'm going to paste that function right in there. Okay. And so then down here, this is where we're going to loop through our folder and our files. Okay, so before I to do this with Python version 3, and I'm using Python version 3.7. Okay, so if you have errors with this code, it could be because you're using older version of Python or a different version, probably Python 2. Okay, so just make sure if this code doesn't work, check your Python version for QGIS. Make sure it's 3.7. And we can go check this right up here just so that you know what's going on. And let's just look for it right here. Okay, I don't see it here, but here's what we can do. Go to your console here, type import sys, and then type sys.version, enter, and you can see here it tells me I'm using Python 3.7. Okay, so run this code here if you're not sure what Python version you're using or if you get errors. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do here now, this is going to be os.fs encode. This is going to encode indir as a directory the OS can read and iterate through. Then we want to loop through each file. So we're going to do for file in os.list dir list directory, put in directory. Now we want to get the file name. And now we want to check if that file name is a TIFF file. So if os, let's see, let me just check this. os dot ends with TIF. Okay, we're gonna have to put our file name in there. Let me just double check my notes. So this will be if dot TIFF colon. Then we want to run slope QGIS. We're going to need to give it an input file name, which is going to be file name. Our output file name we can leave as a temporary file for the moment, but we'll write some code in just a little bit. So we need to make an out file name. So we'll call it outfn equals os.path.join. This is going to give us directory file name. So this is going to give us a new file name. This is going to give us directory that we can use as the input. That's going to be the file in the directory. Okay, and so we've got that there. Now, this should be our input file name. I'm just creating a simple automatic output file name. So let's make a directory that we call file number. We'll make it equal to 1. Every time we print out a slope raster, we're going to increase file number plus equals 1. And after our second one is going to increase to 3. So here what we can do is we can do out fn. It's going to equal os.path.join. We'll put it in the same directory, or we need to give it let's just do this. Let's do out fn name is going to equal slope plus string of file num plus dot tiff. Okay. So that's going to give us slope, a number, dot tiff. We can actually do this right here. So we can do our out. That's our file. So sorry, this is our file name. Now let's just add the output directory onto that, which we have up here, which is our outdir. Plus, and we just need to put a / in here. And now we have our output file name. Sorry, I got a little mixed up in there. So we have our output file name here, which is our output directory, which we defined here, plus slope, plus the file number, plus the extension .tiff. In our slope QGIS, we have our input file name, and now we can type our output file name. And we have up here this add iFace, which determines if that will get added to the QGIS interface, and we will leave that as true so that it will get added. Alright, I think we're ready to give this a run and see if it works. Here we go. And we have an error over here. Let's see what that is. No bytes object has no attribute. So I'm just going to check this. I think because we use this in code here, we need to decode it, and I'll just check how we do that real quick. Okay, and so what I've done here is I've made a little mistake. So see how we encoded the file name here? Or we encoded the directory here? What we need to do when we read the file name is do decode, not encode. So we'll type decode here, and now we should be able to run this. Let's click run. And we have, so we've got if file name ends with, let me just check that one again also. Okay, and I think the problem here is this needs to be a small w, not a large w, a lowercase, and let's click run. Okay, and now we have another error. Line 20, and it says can't mix strings and bytes in path components. Okay, it's because we have an encoded file here and a decoded file here. So let me go ahead and fix that for us. And I think we should be able to do this with os.fs decode. And we'll decode the directory and print that with the file name. Find in line 21. Let's see. And so it says, oh, and so this is a problem with our function. This needs to be in fn in this function, not just fn. So that was a mistake we made in a previous video. Got that fixed there. Let's click run. Hopefully this works now. Okay, so we're running. So you can see it shows just the watershed outline. This one, I'm not sure which one this came from. This could have been from one of those strange looking ones that had some different values in it. This looks like a pretty normal slope raster for the DEM in the area. As does that one. As does that one. This one was from that really coarsely gridded image we had. But we did calculate 7 slope rasters pretty quickly. Let's make sure we had 7 elevation files, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we have 7 slope files to match. So that's an example of how you can use the things we've been doing to batch process rasters with Python in QGIS. Thanks for watching, guys. If you have or any suggestions for future videos, please let me know. Hi everyone, welcome to another Python. Hi everyone, welcome to another Python. Hi everyone, welcome to. Hi everyone, welcome to. Hi everyone, welcome to. Hi everyone, welcome to another. Hi everyone, welcome to another. Hi everyone, welcome to another Python GIS tutorial. So today we're going to another Python GIS. Hi everyone, welcome to another. Hi everyone, welcome to another. Hi everyone, welcome to another Python GIS tutorial. So today. Hi everyone. For doing things like terrain analysis, projection management, data management, things like that. So here I am, I'm at gdal.org,